Hi, my name is Kristen, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about why I joined Scentsy, why a direct sales company, and a little bit of what keeps me motivated to continue this journey, which has been amazing. Um, I'll start out with telling you about my situation when I started. Give you a little intro. Is I was a single mom, and I was working 5 days a week at nights as a waitress, and I was going to school on Saturdays for 9 hours, and then any extra time I had, I was studying pretty much because I was taking 18 units a semester. Um, I had been so busy for so long. When I finished school, I needed to get a job, and you think that someone who has their bachelor's can just go out and get a job. I know it sounds silly to me right now, but I found out quickly that the bachelor's is the new high school diploma, and I had been waiting tables for about 10 years, and I was great at it, but I couldn't get a job. I had interview upon interview, and every single person always told me, "You'd be great at this, but you need to go out and cut your teeth. I can't hire you paying you 50K starting and tell my boss that I hired this really great waitress and I just think she's going to be good even though she doesn't have any experience." And that was really a turning point for me because I made decent money waiting tables, and I didn't have time to go get another job doing sales. Plus, most of it was commission. You didn't get paid on a consistent basis, and I really didn't have time to do that because I was a single mom. I had, at the time, I believe my son was 6, just turned 6, and I needed the flexibility of going into a business where I could learn sales, and so I looked into direct sales. And I think there's a lot of stigma that goes along with direct sales because everybody thinks it's super competitive, that it's cutthroat. The only person that, you need to watch for is yourself, which I mean is true with any job, I guess. But if I were to sponsor someone, if that person were to raise to the level where I'm lead right now, that person would be my competition, or everybody else in my group is my competition. So I didn't want the competition of that. I mean, I liked the thrill of the sale, but I didn't want to go into a market that's so saturated that it was like, for example, Mary Kay. Everybody knows a Mary Kay consultant. You can get it anywhere. It was super saturated. So I did some research. I needed to cut my teeth at sales, and I went into it with the idea that I would quit Scentsy after like a year. This is before I got into it, of course, and come back to all those people that interviewed me and said, "Oh, look, I did Scentsy for a year." The biggest plus for me was that Scentsy was completely flexible. I could do it whenever I wanted, as much as I wanted, or as little as I wanted. So why did I choose Scentsy? I mean, there are hundreds globally, direct sales companies all over. And I had my best friend, her sister sold Scentsy, and I had known Shawnee for 8 years, 10 years, a long time. And I had seen her transform from this very quiet, reserved person to this blossoming, amazing. I mean, she was pretty amazing before, but she just came out of her shell and she was so motivated. And back up really quick. I went to school. I got my bachelor's in communication with a minor in organizational leadership. So I just saw her and it really inspired me to, I guess, be more like her. She had so many sponsors and she could just see the fire in her. So I did a little research on Scentsy. I didn't know that much about the product when I signed up. It was only $199 to sign up, and I actually made that back in commission before because I had actually borrowed the money from my mom and I needed to pay her back within a month. And like any credit card, if you put it on a credit card, you have to, you know, get your statement the next month. I had actually made over that amount and was able to pay my mom back on my next paycheck and then some. And so I signed up, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by all these people that sold Scentsy, and they weren't there to be like, hey, this is my turf, this is, you know, these are my people I sell here. They were all so helpful. The first thing that I learned was that Scentsy is so supportive with training. And there's a whole training center, but not only that, Monday through Saturday actually, they have different training sessions, motivational speaking, and every day I could go on. And there were days where I went on, or weeks I went on for 2 or 3 times. And then after that, you know, I do it once a week, or if I was really into it for that month, I would really get on it and share things. The most wonderful thing is my local girls here are also supportive. In fact, Shawnee just texted me, hey, do you have some dryer discs? I'll trade you for some bars, or I'll buy them from you, or whatever. We always help each other out. If I need a bar, or need a product, or anything, I can just put it on Facebook, and they're there at the drop of a hat. And so there's a lot of support. And the biggest thing that I saw within this company is they really want you to grow as a leader. And because I had gone to school as an organizational leadership major, I really discovered that being a leader is what I wanted to do. And I was able to help people in my group, sponsor people, lead them, inspire them, motivate them. And I could also wait tables 5 days a week. Or actually, I don't even have to do that anymore, just a couple days a week, because I make enough with Scentsy to where it substitutes for that. And I get to stay home with my babies. I have 2 now. I have a 4-month-old and an almost 8-year-old. And it's a wonderful company because my 8-year-old, I get a big shipment in, and we go through everything, we label everything, and he smells them all, he organizes them all for me, he helps me. My family really gets involved. My fiance is thinking about joining Velada, or I'll join Velada, and he'll be my my man slave, Velada man. And so Scentsy has really helped me define my goals since I started. I started thinking I was just doing it to cut my teeth at the sales, and I didn't realize that I hadn't defined goals for myself in my future. And Scentsy and the group that I'm in really motivates me to do that. Every day, every week, there's challenges, and you can decide to do it, or you can decide not to. I was had a baby in December, and the first 5 months of my pregnancy was horrible. I lost 25 pounds before I gained an ounce, and I couldn't sell Scentsy. I was sick. I stopped waiting tables. I lost all this weight. I couldn't move off the TV or off the couch from watching TV. The beauty of owning your own business is you can do that. Yes, I didn't really make my commission as much. I do have some really great loyal customers, and you'll get them too, and you'll be friends with them, that still put orders in under you, and you'll still make quotas. And so what I learned is how to approach my goals realistically with my lifestyle. Let's see here. So my name, my website name is educatedsense.scentsy.us, and my biggest thing was I wanted to make the smartest decision for myself and for my family in direct sales. And so after doing so much research of direct sales, I learned that it was for me. When you start a business, there is all sorts of cost. I mean, you have to buy the product, you have to do marketing, you have to do all these things. And unless you really went to school for it, or if you've owned a business before, You don't know how to do those things. And so you start out with Scentsy with $99. That's all you need. And then you get this workstation that you go onto, and it teaches you how to sell your business, how to start up a Facebook page, how to do all different parties. If you're not a person that speaks in front of groups well, that's fine. You'll learn, they'll teach you how, not to mention, you don't have to do that. You can do Facebook parties, you can do online parties, you can do bag parties or basket parties. There are all sorts of things that Scentsy teaches you that helps you grow your business, and you don't get that when you start your own business. You don't have a cheerleading team in the background going, you can do it, here, let me show you how. And you have the best leaders, and these leaders really have inspired me to be like them. Another thing that I love about this business is I can sponsor anyone. I can sponsor the single mom. I can sponsor the person that works a 9-to-5 job. I can sponsor someone who went bankrupt. I can sponsor someone who has a felony record. You can do, anybody can do it. And I have seen people completely transform. Like Shawnee, my director, she just started to get some extra grocery money, and now she has almost 100, if not more, sponsors, and she loves it, and she's so full of fire and passion for the business. So it's just very inspiring to see people go from maybe down in the dumps to starting Scentsy and realizing that they do have goals and they can define them, and we help them reach them, even if it's not a business goal. They have a whole wellness program. Let's say you want to lose weight. There's a whole wellness program, because you know what? Scentsy wants you to be healthy on the inside and on the outside, if that makes sense. They want you to be happy, and being healthy is part of that. So they also, another thing that Scentsy has taught me is the only security within your business is your self-reliance. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You got to hustle and you got to move, and they really motivate you to do that. You control your own paycheck in a direct sales business. You're not going to work for a company for 10 or 15 or 20 years and really, really hope for that pay raise, and you don't get it. Or you get laid off because there's cuts. The only person that's going to give you a pay cut or not give you that raise or lay you off is you. We have incentive trips every single year. If you want to get an incentive trip, work your butt off for it, and you can get it. I was so close this year. I think that if I hadn't had gotten pregnant this year and not been so sick, I would have probably been able to make that incentive trip, but next year I'm really going for it. The nice thing about going into this company is they make things so easy online, and you can take it with you anywhere. There's smart training. There's always something to learn online from them if you're bored, or if you're just, it's almost like, for me, I don't know how many of you are churchgoers, but for me, going online and listening to a training video, or going on to, we do spreecasts where I get to watch Edie and Shawnee and Kevin, all directors, and we just talk about things and share information, and they do a little bit of motivation, and they do shout outs for people who are doing great. And you know, I've even gotten private messages from them saying, hey Kristen, you know, how are you doing, how's the baby, you know, what can I do to help you with your business this month? And there's been times where I've ran out of catalogs, and Shawnee showed up at my door and given me catalogs, and so there's a lot of support. The wonderful thing about this is I've been able to earn an income and raise my family, and have it be so flexible. I can go out of town to, we just went to a funeral recently, and I was able to make an order right down there, right on our way home, just super quick, and done. I had made an easy $100. Um, and the nice thing about joining Scentsy is if you do have a 9 to 5 job, or I have a friend that is in Scentsy and he works 3 jobs plus Scentsy, and it's not an abrupt career change. You aren't quitting your job and starting this new business. You can gradually go into it, and you can figure out what your niches are, what you're good at, because everybody's good at something different. And if you like talking in front of people, or maybe you're really good at crafts and you can make some really cool stuff, there's ideas everywhere. So I can wait tables, and I can, which hopefully I can quit doing, but I can wait tables and I can sell Scentsy, and it really helps during Christmas and birthdays. I mean, I think Scentsy paid for my Christmas presents this year. If I hadn't had been selling Scentsy, I don't think anybody would have gotten Christmas presents this last year. So my why, I guess that's kind of why I joined. The thing that really motivates me to go for it every day, aside from the money, that's the obvious. Why do you do this? Well, duh, for the money, so I can pay my bills, so I can get that extra birthday present. It needs to be deeper than that. And they really push you to figure out what your why is. My why is I would like to be a leader within this company. I want to do motivational speaking. It's what I've always wanted to do. And especially after I graduated, we practically, all of our classes were public speaking classes and had some public speaking aspect to them. So yeah, I'm good at public speaking. That doesn't mean that if you aren't good at public speaking, you wouldn't be good at Scentsy. Like I said, there's a bunch of different ways. But I realized that after I went to Spring Sprint my first year, I've gone 2 years now, there are these speakers, and I mean, they just had people in tears, and they had people in stitches because they were laughing, and you just left the convention and you were on fire. You were so excited. You're so full of life. And I wanted to do that. I have realized that the sale isn't as important to me as making people feel that feeling of being on fire, being motivated. I like making people happy and helping people see the future, because it's not as easy for everybody else. It's easier for me. It's just part of my personality. I see my future a little bit more clear. I just need a little direction, but I know that it's harder for others, and I like to help direct in that sense. So that's my why. If you would like to join my team, you can go to my website. It's educatedscents.scentsy.us and try join, or you can find me on Facebook, Kristen Scentsy page. So it was nice talking to you, and I hope I'm going to be doing more of these videos soon. See you later.